Hey everyone, today we're doing this quick reaction video about this woman over here. His name is Francesca Albanese, and she's an Italian legal scholar and expert on human rights. On 2022, she was appointed the United Nations Special Rapporteur on Occupied Palestinian Territory. And people have been sharing a lot of her videos. This is one of the latest interviews she did with Piers Morgan. Now, I don't agree with her, and I don't agree with Piers Morgan. Like everybody from the West is completely like dysfunctional. Nobody can have any common sense or logic.
Let me finish.
Today you talk about her grimace?
Fine.
Come on.
Let me
Can
finish.
we talk about Gaza?
I feel very concerned, as I've been saying loudly in the last week, about the ongoing appalling plight of innocent civilians.
Oh, we already know that.
All I can say for sure is that this stunt has done absolutely zero to help any of the people in Gaza.
Yeah, we told you this stuff like a long time ago. We told you, like, before they even start the mission, we told you it's not going to achieve anything. You can look at just on my YouTube channel. Look it up. The video is still up. You can look it up. I also talked about this march to Gaza. And I said it's a propaganda campaign. It's not going to achieve anything. They're going to be stopped at the airport. It's not going to happen. Egypt is not going to allow a bunch of foreigners engaged in political activities and protests and all that. And opening the Rafah border, it's not going to happen. Maybe in your imagination. We told you that, so I don't think why everybody is surprised. And I believe this is just a distraction. Y'all just trying to distract us from the real issue. And we know what's the real issue. It's the United States of America. If you're not talking about Americans or American government, I don't want to hear anything from you. Y'all just trying to confuse us. The more we listen to you, the more you're trying to confuse us. The biggest terrorist and criminal organization in the world are the Americans. So if you're not going to talk about them, I don't want to talk about anything. Israel, the Jews, this, that, I don't care. It's America. Have you seen the United Nations, what is called, a resolution that was vetoed by the American? That happened just 2 days ago. And nobody talks about it. Nobody in the mainstream media. Nobody even mentioned it. So I find it very confusing.
Zero.
This is your opinion, Piers, and
Yeah.
I respect it very much. And
That's not an opinion. Shut up, ma'am. Shut up. That's not an opinion. That's a fact. They have a small ships. They do not carry the necessary amount of aid, and they don't have weapons. So how are they going to protect themselves against this psychopath in the Israeli armed forces? Please explain to me where in the world you thought that was a good idea. They can't even defend themselves, let alone break that siege or the blockade. And to be honest, I had respect for these women. And this is why you should never respect anybody's credential. The only credential I respect are the fact that you're right. Some of these people, they have PhDs. You know, she graduated from university and she has a master in laws. She's part of the current position at the UN, and she's still stupid. Now people say, well, it's because she's pro-Palestinian, and because you disagree with her, you are no longer pro-Palestinian. Now, I don't play that game. You're not going to put me into a box, you know, and force me to take a position without using my brain. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to use my brain. And this person has so many credentials. Look, she's appointed here. She got master degrees. She got all this stuff. And she's still stupid.
zero.
Okay. Well, in that case, we will agree to disagree. Thank you very much indeed for joining me. I appreciate it.
You don't want to talk with me about Gaza and the awful situation there and the Gaza humanitarian...
Well, we know the situation. I mean, you haven't bring it attention to any other situation. We know the situation. Everybody can see it. We saw the videos. We saw the reports. We saw this independent organization doing the, you know, gathering the numbers, gathering the war crimes committed. We've seen all of that. So these Greta Thunberg sailing into Gaza, it didn't help anybody. We don't want to talk about it. Everybody talk about it. Matter of fact, we can't even we can talk about anything else because that's the one thing that is everybody's upset about. And the funny thing is like y'all never want to hold the people responsible into accountable. Like you never want to overthrow your own government. This person from Italy, this Albanese, this Francesca Albanese. Ma'am, can you talk about why you don't want to overthrow the Italian president? You don't want to do that. The Greta Thunberg, she's from Sweden. They don't want to overthrow the Swedish government. Oh, you can say I'm radical and all that, but that's exactly what you want to do to the Egyptian. You say the same thing about the Saudi Arabia. You say they're Muslim. They're somehow supposed to help the Palestinians because they're also Muslim. That's what you said. You said the same thing about Syria, about Iraq, about Algeria, about all these other Muslim countries, about Pakistan. Everybody is supposed to be blamed, except the Americans, except the British, except the Swedish, the French. Oh, these people should never be criticized. They're above criticism. No, this is goofy. You people are dishonest.
Foundation. So you just wanted to talk about what you think it's a stunt.
Yeah.
You called me for that.
It was a
I'm
stunt.
international law expert, and you called me on your.
You are experts, but I don't. Me personally, I don't respect any of your credentials because you refuse to use common sense and logic. That was a stunt. It wasn't gonna achieve anything.
Program to talk about Greta Thunberg.
There was this guy in the comments asking me what was the solution. I don't know. The Egyptian government can't do anything. The Saudi Arabian cannot do anything. The Qatari government cannot do anything. Kuwait, Oman, all these other governments, they're more powerful than me and you, and they can't do anything. But see, some people in the West, they only believe in violence. So if they don't see bombs dropping on Israel, they think nothing is happening. There's no negotiation. There's no commercial agreement, anything. Like they don't believe in that. They don't believe in diplomacy. The only language they speak is violence. So if nobody is attacking Israel, somehow they're not doing anything. And I don't agree with that. Just because you were raised in an uncivilized society doesn't mean that everybody is uncivilized like you. I'm sorry. These people are trying to remove themselves and distance themselves from that violence and savagery by the West. And they do it the best they can. Now, listen, I am not head of a state. I don't know how to run a country, but I can tell you, I am not going to engage in violence in order to get rid of Western occupation.
Well, you've had nearly 20 minutes to talk about whatever you wanted to talk about.
I answered your question, Pierce.
Yeah, you had 20 minutes. If you wanted to talk about something else, talk about something else.
However, I won't bother you further. Thank you very much. Till the next one. Bye-bye,
Okay.
Pierce.
Bye-bye.
She was mad. She was mad. She was like, bye-bye. Okay, bye-bye. Me personally, I have no respect for people like that. And I don't, maybe this is not like, Pierce Morgan is also like full of shit sometimes. He said, he was talking to a Palestinian the other day. He said, why the Palestinians, why Hamas was killing the Jews. And the Palestinian guy was immigrated to the United Kingdom. He said, well, see, Hamas, they didn't kill the Jews. They killed the Israelis. And Pierce Morgan couldn't, that fact wouldn't register in his mind. He was like, why they killed the Jews? He was like, no, they killed the Israelis because they are under illegal occupation. And Pierce Morgan couldn't understand it. He's a dumbass, you know? Because they were raised in the West, and see, the West is like a cancer. It doesn't allow you to think straight. Anyway, that's my point of view. If you want to add anything, leave it in the comment section. And see you next time.